Hello Year 3, hope you're all doing well. Now 2 weeks ago we set up a long investigation to see what plants need to survive. We wanted to see whether they needed water, whether they needed light, whether they needed nutrients from the soil, or whether they needed a mixture of all of those things. What are nutrients again? Exactly, nutrients from the soil are a type of food from the soil that plants could use. And then we set up a fair test. How did we do that? Thank you. We used 4 of the same plant, 4 cress plants, and we put them in slightly different conditions to see how they would react in each situation. We saw last week what had happened after 1 week in their different conditions, and now we're going to see what's happened after 2 weeks in those conditions. So in your walt, the walt you had from last week, you filled in where it had week 1. What you're going to do today is go down to the next row where it says week 2, and you can draw or write the results that you can see for the plants that we're going to see today. So let's find out how they're doing. With the first one, this one is water, light and soil. How do you think it's going to look? Let's see. As you can see, it's looking pretty healthy still. It's even sprouted some new bits at the top here, and it's very fluffy. All the stems are looking well. So that's that one for the first one. For the second one, we had light and soil but no water. Do you remember how that looked last week? Let's see how it looks today. How does that one compare to the last one I just showed you? It is very dry, whereas the last one was popping out over the top. This one has actually retreated, meaning it's gone back into the pot that it's in. So that's the one that had no water. The third one we had was water and soil but no light. Do you remember how that looked last week? Well, this week it's still looking quite yellowy. The leaves are yellowing. It's still sprouting a bit, but if you can see inside, there are definitely some drier bits. How does that look compared to the first one I showed you? Then the last one is water and light, but no soil. Remember how I looked last week with that one? This one looked a bit more like the first one, and we can see that still today. So it's okay, it's doing all right, but it's not doing anywhere near as well as our first one. So there we go. That's week 2 for those cress plants. Let's see what happens next week. See you next week.